Hey guys, Saxy here, and welcome back to the racing channel. Tonight, we got the World 600 because I refuse to be affiliated with a certain drink company that likes using AI. Besides that, welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway. On pole, we've got the home racer Colin on pole in the 35 to his outside Smity in the 44 in row 2. Oh, why did it go that way? Your second row, it is Jay in the 23, Taffi in the 48, Ryan in the 11, and Ricky dead last in the 16. So that is your field for tonight. We will be doing 67 laps, and no, that's not because haha funny number, it's because that equals 100 miles. So, we have to sadly deal with it. But, now we get ready to go. If drivers will shimmy their tires and let me know they're ready to go. I'm seeing shimmies from the bottom lane, seeing it from everybody except for the 44. Okay, now I see it from the 44. There we go. As the drivers will get ready, this little screen down the bottom will go away as soon as we start going. But the drivers are ready for the green flag. Green flag in the air. They're going to slowly roll it. Make sure to stay off the apron, otherwise you will start spinning. And it'll be 3 cars for a caution or a flip. As Colin tries to lead it into turn 1, getting some help from his teammate in that 23. Has some contact in the back. That's going to be the 11 around hard into the outside wall from Ricky. Not what you want to see early for that 11. He'll have to respawn it and keep it going. But now, the 23-11 duo out front. Because we're going to have to start the record button so you guys get to see every incident. So sadly, we won't get a replay of that first crash. Forgot to hit it before we started. But Jay will lead the opening lap. Good start there for that 23. That's what he wants to see, is just be able to get this rhythm in fast here. Get some good laps in. Pull away from the field, because this one is all about consistency on lap time. One mistake can mean you lose many track positions. One small mistake. Which each one of these drivers made plenty of mistakes in practice, even in qualifying some mistakes. As here comes Colin rallying back to the back end of that 23. These two going at it here early. As the field is starting to spread out. There's only 6 cars on track, but already starting to fan out a little bit more. As the 23 rolls a little bit higher than that 35. Colin following right behind that 23, not allowing him to pull away a big gap right now. We get a little bit of a lag spike. I might have to turn some settings down when we get our first caution. Just to ensure. As now Colin breathing down the back of that 23, putting the pressure down. Both of these guys wanting to win it tonight, especially Colin wants to break that winless streak of 13 races. It's been since March of last year that he found victory lane. As they both tap the wall through the dogleg. Jay slides up, Colin trying to rotate a little bit lower. Colin got a bit tight off of exit, he's going to get a good run here. Smity still in the picture running third. Toyota's looking good tonight. That's what these guys want to see right now, is these Toyotas. 1, 2, 3. The only other Toyota in the field is Ryan in 6th. As now Colin putting the pressure back on Jay again. As he's got to rally this thing, get closer to that 23, find an area to pass. Tonight's going to be a hard one to pass. It is very easy for both lines to run very well. So drivers can run anywhere on track and it be effective. Unlike some previous races that we've held at like Homestead or Dover where it was pretty one lane. So Colin can move up the track. Jay can run up the top of the track. They can run down at the bottom, run in the middle, wherever they want to, as long as that's not wall riding. But now Colin rallying back to the back end of that 23. These two running pretty identical laps in practice. Colin able to get the best of practice, the best of qualifying, trying to get the best here today for the race. But right now, Jay is the one setting the pace out front. Colin takes another look to that outside line through the dogleg. Back to the outside line here for turn 1 and 2. Try to get this momentum built up around that outside line. Get to the back end of Jay. Try to pass him. Using that high line run. But Jay just being too good on that the inside line for Colin to make a move using that outer line. Now Colin looks at the inside, gets the closer to the back end of that 23, but the 23 got a little bit of a run using that outer line. Like I said, tonight is going to be a challenge. But that's what these are supposed to be. Put the drivers in a chance to race against each other and challenge each other at challenging tracks. Like, up next is Indianapolis for the Indy 500, and you have Monaco and 24 hours at Le Mans. He ran Daytona, but even that, skill-based tracks that every mistake matters. These guys have been enjoying it all year long so far. As Colin now does take a look to the inside, but Jay is going to get a good run here off the exit. Maybe not. Colin's still keeping up with him. About a car length gap between the two. This is the most consistent I think I've seen Jay run without hitting the wall, so he's doing really good, eating up the pressure from his teammate behind him. And I do want to say this while we are in the race. We are allowing fans to come back to these events, starting either later this year or next year. So please join the Discord. Come join us. We would love to have you guys come race with us. But still, Jay holds onto this lead. Got it off early off of Colin's hands. And Colin is just trying to find a way to get back to this 23 and around him. Is there starting, to pull away from that third place car of Smity. Colin looks a little bit lower. Jay, ooh, putting it really close. That curb for the road course is a very dangerous part of this track. If you clip that with the rear tire, it will singe you. As here comes Colin looking to the inside. He's going to get a little tap into that 23. He is now there. Jay is definitely aware that his teammate is right on him. Smity and Ricky wrecked? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right, caution flag waves. Race it back.
Sorry, I know you're in the middle of that.
All right, so here's what brought out the caution. Smity flipped the curb like I was talking about, killed the outside wall. So that is not what you wanted to see. That killed the car. You can see the tire bent out of shape there. Smity left the middle of the track. He could have probably despawned a little bit faster. And Ricky just runs straight into the back of him. So yeah, that's a fun one.
I do an in-race report.
In a minute. Yeah, that was a hard impact for Smity. Smitty definitely could have despawned the car. I feel like Smitty, you should have done that a little bit faster. Despawn the car so that way that nobody ran into you. But yeah, gets just driven straight into by Ricky. As there's a car just placed in the middle of the track. Oh, sorry. She was the one that hit him. It wasn't Ricky. I thought it was Ricky in the 48. I don't know why I said that. She hit him. Alright, so now this is Ricky's POV. He was the one who avoided it. It was Taffi that hit him. As Ricky just kind of sees him sitting there. And then Taffi just runs into the back of him. Alright, is a decent long break there. I'm actually going to go ahead and hit the record button so I don't forget this time. Drivers are ready for the green flag. And there it is! The green flag is out! Slow start from a couple of the three Toyotas up front. Very good starts from the three of them. Can Colin rally on this outside line? If I'm him, I want to pinch down that 23. Big run coming from that 35, hopefully. But now he's got to fight off the 11. Ryan puts himself into the picture, puts himself P2. He's going to... got a little loose there into the entry. And now he's going to get some help up the track from the 35. Whoa. Big battle going on behind. There's, I believe, some issues for the 48. We'll have to look at that on the replay. As now the field's starting to get a little more spread out again, and now Colin has dropped another spot on the restart. Not what you want to see out of that 35. Put a lot of time into practice, put almost the full 600 miles worth of practice laps yesterday trying to get himself prepared for tonight, and has lost 2 spots on the opening laps of restarts. So not what he wants to see, and now he's got to rally himself to get around this 11. It is the Toyotas 1, 2, 3, 4 now since Ryan had that opening incident there with the 16. Now the Toyotas have taken the top spots. No Fords in this one. It's like an O'Reilly Series race. As here comes Colin looking low. He's trying to get this run on the inside of the 11. He's going to shove Ryan up the track. Ryan's going to get a fairly good run, but Colin able to clear before they get into turn 1. But now that's put Smity on the back door of this 11. Whoa, Ryan gets into the 35. Now that's going to open the door for Smity to look to the inside of the 11. Colin now has to pull away. Focus on what you're doing now. Focus on your line. Don't focus on the guys that are around you. Put your eyes forward and keep moving. You're now back up to P2 and gotta hope you can reel in 7/10 on your race leader. Because that is definitely the fight that we're going to see here tonight, is that 23 versus the 35. Those were your fastest two in practice. And not the fastest two in qualifying, but close to it. Right now the battle is for third. Ryan trying to hold off Smity. As it is close between those two. Smity rotates the bottom. Ryan moves up a couple lanes. Smity gets to the inside, but Ryan's going to get a run here on the exit. Going to allow Ryan to breathe a little bit more, though. But a car and a half between the two. Smity once again looks low, trying to get that back end to the 11. Now right up on the back end. Now he looks at the inside as they go through the dog leg. Ooh, Ryan pinching. Now that hands third off to the 44. There's Ryan having some issues there, all the way up against the wall. Now we're going to move back up to Colin here since those two have fanned out a little bit. Can Colin reel back in this 23? That is his focus. You just got to gain a little bit every lap. Right now he's losing a little bit every lap. He's got to start marching forward. Oh, a little bit of a mistake probably. Don't think he really wanted to be up that high. Right now, you gotta hope that 44 doesn't get to you. You gotta put the pace down, catch that leader, and hope that you don't get in a fight for for second again. And for Smity, yes, you want to kick that second spot away, but it might be better to work with that 35 right now. Chase back down to Jay. Battle for second's just gonna hold both of you up. This isn't Daytona where you can battle side by side and not lose a whole lot of time. This one, you start battling, you're going to start losing time. They found that out very quickly yesterday doing some practice laps. As Jay lost big time there. I don't know if he had an incident and slowed down intentionally. I don't know what that was, but Colin took a chunk out of the Jay's lead. Out of the Jay's lead. Jesus. I can't commentate tonight, apparently. Now Colin's got to focus on what's in front of him. Put that car on rails. You do see your leader getting closer and closer to you. Be able to put that thing where Jay can't, especially when you get closer to him. You've got to find a way around him. Jay has got to be the hardest person to move around this track for a position. Yes, you got around Ryan pretty easily, but Jay is a different beast when it comes to having to get around him. As you guys are probably pretty quickly aware of, most of these starts that Jay has made this year have been really good. He has finished inside the top 3 most of the starts of this year. And he wants to continue that here tonight. Hopefully with a win. Maybe for second. He said he would be fine if he finished second to Colin here today. As Colin now does take a peek to the inside. Jay able to close it off. But the pressure is there. Colin looks at the outside. Now he tucks it back down. He's going to get to the back end of that 23. Jay is able to block him with half a lane over him. Hard racing now for the race lead. Jay able to pull a little bit off of exit. Jay goes to the top. Colin down to the bottom. Colin's going to move up. He's trying to squeeze that 23 on exit. Oh, a little bit of contact. That's going to put the 23 in the lead. Not what Colin wanted. Got there, made the contact, and now has to restart from ground zero. All the way up to the top of the wall, too. That's not going to be good for that 35. Just calm your mind. Get back in the rhythm that you were in, because you found something there. He really did find something. He was really putting that pressure down on Jay. Just made the move a little bit too hasty. Pace yourself. This one is a long one. And we have seen people lead a bunch of laps and still lose races. Sadly, Juan not able to make it tonight. He was planning on making it, not able to make it, but led 69 laps at Daytona Flat Track and did not win the race. Has the record for most laps and not won. As Colin taking more time out of Jay there, took a 3/10, a third of his time away from Jay, so now he's just got to put his head down, get back to the 23, and not make the same mistake of the contact that ended up giving Jay the position. This time only down 1/10, but it's still time. And you want to get around that 23 as fast as possible because Smity has followed you. Smity is not that far off of Colin. If he makes that same mistake of just trying to get around Jay and can't do it again, that puts Smity in the prime position to overtake both of them. Smitty's also been one of those guys that have been very consistent with his starts and finishes. Of being able to finish out things. As Colin's going to clip the curve, that's what we were talking about. He caught it, but that's going to give Smity the position, maybe. And it looks like it will. Smity now up to P2. Little mistakes like that are what's going to cost people here tonight. Now Colin's got to fight back for P2. He's at the side of the 44. He's cleared him into the turn, but Smitty's going to get a big run through the exit. And oh, Colin got the wall. Oh, big crash. Caution flag is back out. Not what you wanted to see for Colin. That is the big one here at Charlotte. As we're going to look back at some replays. As they race it back around. So, Jay, this is you racing it back. This is you racing it back, Jay. Oh, I think Jay costed himself that. He did. Ryan takes the spot. Colin goes low, and Smity just hooks him into the wall. And that's a big crash for Colin and Smity, but definitely a hard one for Colin. Just got hooked by the 44.
Like spotter, like being radio communication.
Hard crash for Colin. Jesus. Yep, just absolutely just gets hooked. Nowhere for Colin to go. Just gets obliterated. Yellow flag being shown. Oh, Smity already antsy on that green. And there it is. You saw the 11 got the best reaction there. That's going to be good for him. Not good for Jay, because Jay's now got to repass this 11 car after giving up the lead just by letting off too soon. He was like, this is already the lap. We're good. Oh, and it might be there. He moved the 11. 11 to the top. The 23 down low. Smity looking 3 wide, trying to get there to the bottom. Smity tried it. Oh! 11's in the wall. Not what he was trying to do, but it ended up happening. Jay leads the lap, but Ryan is still there. Whoa! Contact! Hard crash! Oh my god! I forgot to hit the record button! And caution flag is back out just like that.
I retract my statement. Oh my god.
Huge crash for Ryan and Jay.
Jay, I'm sorry. Oh my god.
As Smitty shoves Colin up the track. But Colin will take second across the line. Yellow being shown. And there's the green. Ricky doesn't go! This is what I meant! That is going to hand the lead back to Colin. Smitty's going to spin. Watch out. Oh, Smitty's up and over. I'm not going to caution that since it was so quick. Not going to caution that one. But I am going to hit record button now. And just like that, Ricky has gone from first all the way to the back. Well, this is what Colin wanted to see. As now he gets to lead, finally back up front. As the field behind him are going to be fighting big time for second here. As it is the 48 up to second. High as she's been tonight. Got a very good start after Ricky checked up the field. Now trying to block Jay and Ryan. Now Jay gets a big run around the outside. He's going to be able to get up to second now. How quick can Ryan maneuver his way around this 48 if he can? She's going to roll the bottom there. Ryan runs the top, trying to get a run. Colin's got a second lead over Jay. Now all he's got to do is focus what's in front of him. Keep that car driving forward. As Ryan now closes back on this 11. Sorry, what? The 11 closes on the 48. She goes up, Ryan runs middle. Oh, she gets up into the wall. Whoa, that was really close. Cut it across his nose. But Ryan's going to have a fun time working this one. She slides up. He's going to run the bottom line. He's going to get a nice little peek to the outside. They're side by side for the position. Oh, she moves up. It's forcing him to go even higher. She's not giving him the space. She does slide down, and she's going to let him go by. Smitty's got to re-put his paint scheme in, so he'll still be in the 11 right now. As now the battle is, can Jay reel in Colin? And if he can't, can Ryan reel in Jay? The Toyota's back to 1, 2, 3. Whoa, Ryan got in the wall there on exit. As this race is definitely moving by quick. Already 40 laps complete. Of this almost 70-lap race. Now the tables have turned for the top two, though, from earlier. Jay was able to hold off Colin. Now can Colin hold off Jay? And they look pretty even right now. Jay edged out just a little bit there. Gained a 10th on Colin as Ryan hard on the outside. Well, as there's going to go Jay sliding. Ryan's able to avoid him. No caution, though. That'll be car number 2, so one more around for a caution. But that is what Colin wants to hear, is his biggest competition has a mistake. Just keep the car off of that curb on the front straightaway. That is all you have to do now. As that is really going to cycle this thing out really awkwardly. Even if we get a caution. That puts Colin in a really good position compared to his fastest competitors. As Jay now finally crosses the line. Again, a lap down. Car killed. He's got to respawn. Doesn't matter paint scheme right now as long as you get the car rolling again. But that is not what Jay wanted to have happen. Hard. Possibly into his night. Now 2 down. He's got to hope for a couple cautions now because he is multiple laps down. As the field very spread out, Colin just pacing himself now. No need to push yourself. Just make sure you don't make the mistakes. put an end to the winless drought. For you guys, it hasn't been released yet. Monaco did happen before this. So, just saying that whenever you guys see that video and I'm talking about his winless drought, it was recorded prior to this race. Due to the scheduling, it was like a last-minute ad, but comes out a little bit later. It's whatever. Explanation. But Colin, able to keep this thing rolling right now. As we're actually going to go back and look at these two Chevys battling it out for third. The 48 versus the 16. As we cross the line, 20 laps remaining here at Charlotte. As right now Taffi holding on to that P3. Her best finish so far is P3, so she could tie that here tonight if it finishes out how it is right now. As they are winding the laps down, trying to keep this thing clean as possible. As Jay now getting onto the back end of Ricky there. As you're going to see him in the 11, but that is due to him also having to respawn the car, not able to put the paint scheme in yet. Since they are on Xbox, they have a harder time typing in the code. It takes a bit more time, so it's whatever. Oh, a little wiggle out of that 16 there. Jay really trying to reel these guys in. It's not going to matter for him, but it'll definitely show his pace difference. Led a very long amount of laps tonight. As Colin ticks another one off. As now Jay in the mirror of that 16. For sure. Here comes Jay with a big run. He's looking to the inside. Now he goes to the inside of the 16. Don't think Ricky's going to fight that one that much. He is not your race. He is 2 laps down. Just don't overdo it. Don't wreck yourself. Don't wreck him. As Jay made that one very easily. Got around the 16. Now the 16's following right behind. Hopefully, he's going to hope for Jay to get around this 48 and he can follow through. And it's definitely what he was hoping for. We're going to slide up to this 48 now since this is your closest battle on track. As Colin has kind of kept the same lead over Ryan for the past few laps for sure. As now here comes Jay looking to the outside of the 48. Now he's following right behind her. Going into the tri-oval. Probably the most sketchy area to make a pass is that little bump on the bottom, like I said, that has been causing issues for people tonight and during practices. Right now, Taffi doing a good job holding off Jay, even though it really doesn't matter much, but it definitely shows she's got some pace here tonight. Everybody really did. In practices, it was very tight in times. It wasn't that very widespread. The biggest gap was actually from first to second and not the rest of the field. As now Jay finally is going to look to her outside. Not clear yet, but definitely getting there. As he's going to drive off, or at least attempt to. She makes a wiggle there. And that's going to pull Ricky back up to her. That is now Jay clear of the 2 Chevys. As Ricky drives it in deep. Ricky, don't drive it in that deep. That's how you wreck somebody. And I know you know better. As now she's got to hold off the 16 for the position. As, oh, he got to her quarter panel there. She's going to get a run. She's going to clear him back again. Able to hold off for now. As now Ricky goes to that high line, tries to force a run here. Trying to close up into turn 1. She's going to force that middle line. She's going to force him all the way up the track. He's going to rotate it down, try to pull it down. She's going to run it wide on exit. As now it is 10 laps remaining for Colin. There's a big wiggle out of that 48. Got into the outside wall. But still over that 16. Ricky pushes it in deep on entry. Once again, not able to get that rotation on exit, but oh, she got the wall! Side by side for third. Ricky trying to clear, and he does finally clear. That one mistake out of the 48 meant the difference. 9 laps remain for your race leader. He is hoping this thing goes green to the end because now Ryan is back up there. But he has been steadily pulling away from Ryan for sure. As the battle for third still on. Ricky not able to pull away dramatically. That's Colin just trying to tick the laps down right now. It has gone silent over the radio. I've definitely noticed everybody is focused. I can hear it from the control from Ryan, and they have gone silent. They are wanting this thing to go green to the end. They are trying to run this thing out as much as possible. As this third and fourth have gotten separated, we're now going to cycle up to the race leader. As Colin ticks it off. 5 laps remain between him and victory. Home race for this 35 car. Longest winless streak that we have had. Can be ended tonight if nothing else goes wrong here tonight. Had a hard crash with Smity earlier. Hard racing with Jay for the lead. 4 laps remain for this 35. He's got to hope that he, Ryan, Taffi, or Ricky do not wreck. Those are the only people he cannot have wreck. If Jay or Smity wreck again, no caution. They have already been counted towards the ticker. 3 laps remain. Colin has been in this position multiple times. Having the win right in front of him just for it to be snatched this late in the race. As he rounds turn 4 to hit 2 laps remaining. It is a last lap that could bring out a caution that could take this win away from him. He's got to hope it stays green. And if a caution does come out, he does get the fastest restart. He has got to put his head down. Get back to the white flag as fast as possible. As here he comes off of turn 4. Colin takes the white flag here at Charlotte. Only a mile and a half separates him from victory. Last win back in March of 2024. 1980s cars at Daytona. Back on just Daytona. Or sorry, that wasn't at Daytona. That was at Talladega. My fault. As he is rounding turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Colin coming home a winner again, finally in 2026. Also, if I said his win was 2024, I meant 2025. I said that the wrong date. My bad. But Colin finally gets it done.
Slow her down, Colin, real quick.
As Ricky will take third, and Taffi will come home fourth. And that'll be Smity, P5 with some heavy damage on the rear. And Jay comes home last after dominating the beginning portions of this race. Colin can attempt to burn it down. I don't think he's going to be able to. Oh my god!
Really?
Oh my god! Well, there it is.
There it is.
Colin finally able to get the burnout done. Doing it on the monster sign with the monster car. Showing him how to do it tonight. Fastest lap, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, fastest in the race. Goes on to win. Did not lead every lap, but did every bit right here tonight. Alright, here we go. Here's what happened to Jay. That ended up costing him every position. Just tapped the outside wall, overcorrected it. Ended up loading it up enough to get off the outside wall, but not enough to keep it off the inside. Got the inside wall. Spun it around and killed the outside wall finally with the nose. Thought he was able to drive off on that because we did see a little bit later that he was driving across the track. Over 400 laps of practice. Fastest lap in practice, fastest lap in qualifying, fastest lap here tonight. Got pole. Obviously didn't lead every lap, but how'd this one end up turning out for you? Finally breaking a 13 race losing streak. It's been since March of last year.
Just hearing the number 13 is still unbelievable because, again, I was competitive and everything, but just couldn't come to. But this was the day. I trained so hard, over 400 laps in total. It was insane. This is just, I've been gearing up for this, and it feels so good to finally win again. And just it was unfortunate to hear the rest of the pack getting like so behind me. This was not the best win. This is not the most entertaining win, definitely for the fans to watch. But you know what? After 13 whole like races without winning and just go on such a dry streak, I take anything, and I'm just happy, honestly.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I want to take it back through the race. Lost the lead early off that initial lap. Lost it to Jay. Trying to rally to him, just wasn't able to. Once you finally got to his inside, made some contact, took you back to Smitty. Had the crash with Smitty. At that point, when your car was destroyed, did you think you were going to be able to rally back and win this thing?
Honestly, as long as I was able to like get my openings correct and just keep my laps going, I felt like I could catch up and pass anyone. It was just Jay. Jay was the only one who could really just keep me down and just keep me behind him the whole time. He was like the only main threat I felt on the track, honestly, which is what made me sad when I heard over the comms what happened to him.
Yeah, I'm going to hate that one for Jay. Ends his really good run of this year. This is definitely his worst finish of 2026. But
yeah,
next up is Indy 500. So that one's going to be a big one. But go check out all the people that were here. Come join the Discord, like I said. Come hang out with us. What were you going to say?
One thing I will say is that I did feel like a monster. It was deep beneath my skin. It felt deep within. I did in fact feel like a monster.
Like I was saying, come join the Discord. We want you guys to come race with us. We have opened that up for you guys to come back and race with us as long as you're not being dumb. You guys will be allowed to come back. Check these things live on Twitch, because I really don't use Kick anymore. I might as well just kind of stop saying it. But come check these things live. Go check out the TikTok. I just started that by the time this is being recorded. Go check that out. Posting clips of these events, some of the highlight reels of these. So go watch those. But this is Saxy signing out. See you guys next time. Woo! Bye, guys.
Bye.
Stay crossing off my list. Got my money in my bitch. That's a check. All my mama there at the crib could retire off of this wrist. That's a check.